Hi everyone, this is Suvarov, and today one of the guys in my alliance have requested the explanation of some terms because he was not understanding the meaning of attack, damage, defense, HP, those kind of things. And so basically he needed a video about it. So that's what we will do. And so we will be talking about battles and we'll see how we can check a battle report and get useful information there. But first off, let's go to the stable, for example. Let's click here. We have the T8 selected, and you can click here on the exclamation point, and it will switch from the cost of the troop to their stats. So here we can see some information, general information. To be honest, they just give you an hint of what you can do with your cavalry. Basically, you can also see the famous diagram where we can see that it's a rock paper scissors, and the cavalry kills the archers kill the infantry, and the infantry kills the cavalry. Then we can see the attack, the defense, the HP, the movement, and the might given by those troops. So we can see that the base stat, for example, is attack, then defense. And so basically, so I don't exactly know how it works, okay? So I couldn't tell you the exact math of combat, but it's based on a ratio of attack and defense. So basically you take your attack, you divide it by the defense, then there will be some things going on to get the damage, and those damage will reduce the HP of the enemy, and when the HP is down to 0, the troop is killed or wounded, more or less. So that basically how the stats work. So a troop has several stats, and we will see everything that will be used for the stats in the battle report. So let's open a battle report. We can go, which one should we open? We can open this one. So, when you open a battle report, first off, you can see the general result. So that's the starting troop, the remaining troop at the end of the fight. It is possible that you finish with more troops than you started, if you are being healed more than you are losing, for example. Sometimes you can see the numbers will be odd. For example, if we see some another battles that I did today, so not this one. Yeah, for example, this one. I can see that I took him 15k on this troop during this combat, and I see that is down to 0. Okay, it's not a mistake, it's just that I attacked with more than one troop, and another player was also there, and we only see the result of our own troop, but the ending result of this combat is that there were no troop remaining. Okay, so you can see that it's not a bug, it's what happened. So let's get back to the report. So we can see that this troop had 83,600 troops. They healed 408 troops, and here the heal number, it's the number of troops that were healed by the troop itself, not from a priest troop outside. Okay, so if you have troops healing troops just outside, they will not be counted in the heal here that you will see here. The number of troops that were killed, number of troops severely wounded, you can click on it if you want to check. Okay, so those are the troops that will go to the hospital. Okay, and if you exceed hospital capacity, they will die. So be careful at your hospital capacity. And then here, those are the slightly wounded. Basically, what happened is after you do a battle, so for example, this one, we will both have different ways of dealing with slightly wounded troops. For example, this one, his troop was destroyed, and so basically his heroes will go back to the turf by themselves, and when they reach the castle, not before, all the slightly wounded return to the rally area. At once, you don't have to do anything. They will be back. And here, after the battle, I'm still missing 4,435 troops. Those ones are in the hospital, okay? So I cannot get them back to my troop. And those ones, they can be healed by priests. And basically the priests, they can only heal slightly wounded troops. They do not heal severely wounded troops, okay? So those are the ones that can be brought back if you send priests. Then what we can do is we can check the gear. So we can see the war gear that we have. It can help you sometimes during some events to see what kind of stats you want, because for example, if you do let's say a hero trial, you will see your PvP stuff, and then you can understand that you want to be using your PvP skills as well, because everything will be used from your PvP. And if you do some other events, you will see that it's your barbarian set, and so then you want to be barbarian mode. So yeah, just check it when you are not fighting players, obviously, but when you are doing some quests or some stuff like that during events, check what gear you are using so that you can adapt and put the right skills. Okay, that being said, we can then see the heroes. So this is the leader, and this is the deputy. And then, and I don't really like this group. Not the best one. And here we can click to have the exact composition of the army. And so it was full T7 Cossacks, basically just like me. I just happen to have a little bit more. and also a few T8s that were here for some reason. And basically, also, if you check it, you can see the detail, how many troops were actually severely wounded, injured, and remaining from each of the troops inside the march. Okay. Next thing is we can see the troop boost, which will let us see all our stats. So right now we are only interested in the cavalry because we both had only cavalry. And so, for example, what you want to do is you can see all the different stats are here. So the final attack boost, defense boost, HP, and then we have the damage and damage received. And so the damage is a bonus that you will add directly to the final damage you are supposed to do. So basically, as we are, you may have found out by now that the percentages, they all add up like points, not in percentage. For example, when you add, for example, a 20% bonus, or you are using a 10% attack buff, it will not be like these numbers times 1.1, okay? This would be a real plus 10%, but no, it's plus 10 points, and what means is you add 10 to this number, so that would be 400.8%, rather than plus 39. In fact, if it was real plus 10%, okay? And so basically, when you add to the damage, this value, the damage is dealt after your attack has been reduced by enemy defense. And so basically 1% bonus in damage will have way more impact than 1% attack. Okay, I don't know if it's clear, but damage is, for the same number, damage is superior to attack. Still need a good attack though. And like the HP also is super important, even more than the defense, for example. So then you can check the detail, and you can compare with the enemy. And we have really a lot of different sources for your gear, for your stats. So the tech is your own technology, hero skills, but well, basically that's the set of skills that you decided to use for your heroes. This is the war gear. This is the final bonus from the mounts, for the tactical tomes, from your gems. This is your hero potential, which is basically, you know, the big passives that you get from leveling up your heroes. So by having all cavalry heroes at 55, you will basically have the most hero potential. So I'm still lacking 5% from Hufu at the moment. I'm also lacking 3% from army attack from Frederick. And more from other heroes, by the way, like the new one, Korean. Then here you have the bonus from the Alliance technology, your titles and privileges, the items you have used, the shrines, what they will give you, and your skins. And all in all, this gives you your final attack buff. and here it will be the same with the defense, with the HP, and here we can see that we do have some hero skill for the HP that we didn't have for the attack. Then we have for the damage, and it's getting lower and lower, you know, and the cavalry damage received. So we don't have any modifiers on that on PvP most of the time. Then you can see a detail of the battle report. So you open by clicking on detail, and you can see the lineup. So who are the commanders, which level, who is the leader, who is the deputy, the starting numbers of each side. Here, just forget about it, okay? All this, forget about it. The left part is useless. What you want to do is to check here, and you can then open this. So you can see turn by turn everything that happened during this battle. So for example, here we have the first attack with Timur, and you can see all the skills that will trigger. So for example, Timur cast Harbinger, Ivan, so this is the enemy because it's in red, lost some troops, received disarm, and we will see after the effect of disarm, and the skill triggered Scourge of Levant from Timur, and Ivan 4 received Penetrate because of that. And so when we reach round 12, we can see the Penetrate is effective, defense of all unit down to 30%, and disarm is effective, attack of all unit down 20%, and the number of turn remaining. And so for example, if we get there, we can see that they still have the Penetrate and the disarm, and then I have Frederick casting his big attack on Ivan, which has his defense break still. So this is a very interesting way to see if your skills are working or not, to see what's working, what's not, basically. And you can see the whole fight until there is no one left. And so you can basically check turn by turn if you were using any skills, if you have reduced some damage, if you have debuffed, if you have gained some bonuses somewhere from one of the skills that you chose. So yeah, it takes some time. From time to time, you take a few minutes to just check your reports, to try to understand what's happening there, and it will let you start understanding how the whole thing works. So that was it, I think. Nothing more to say, I think, about it. Just learn to do it by yourself. Read the things and understand what you see. And if really you have any troubles, you can still contact me and ask questions. There is no problem. I'm always checking on my private messages, so I'll check them, and then you can share a report so that I can help you understand it if you need. And yeah, that was it for today. I'll see you in game. Cheers all.